Siran Manon, I'm gonna try to repeat this video that was not working. I think it's number 46 or 47, whatever, because the sound was working on my thing. So what I'm gonna do is to use Manon's principle of being texted, but I will be texted by myself. So I play this video now and I will repeat what I was saying last week, and maybe this can be an entry point for how we start. Here we go. Yeah, Sira and Manon and whoever else is out there listening. I think indeed we are now throwing ideas a little bit all over the place. I think in a way it's super interesting, but of course it's a little bit difficult to then select what it is that we're going to do. I don't know now. I'm trying to make a little recap for myself. And so we have the map of Aitan. But I need to understand more, because what I understood now is that it's a spatial map that influences how we move inside the map. But exactly, it doesn't say anything about time. So I don't know. But maybe what could be a first step is just to use this spatial map and to improvise, or whatever you call it, inside of this, and to see what it does as an idea. So I think that I could do that. I think I could rewatch the explanation and to map it out how it works. I will do that as soon as I'm back in the studio. The second thing is the score that I proposed, which is, I will read it to you, because if you don't see it, you don't get it. Score connected to spaces. One kind of space is the what you know extremely well. So you have a physical memory of it, and the other spaces would be imaginary spaces. And then there's a proposition of 4 different spaces, which are just the first idea. It can also be extended or changed. But the idea would be that space number 1, I wrote incubation hall for clones in an imaginary futuristic science fiction hall. You are a clone. Yeah. I don't know how you would do this. I've been working on one thing where I imagine that I'm kind of, I don't know if you know these films, but okay, we're not supposed to refer to films, but it's actually just a memory in my head. I don't know if it really exists, but where there is a huge hall full of people that are being cultivated. So basically it's this kind of, in a time where genetic engineering has allowed us to produce bodies which are already possible but ethically not allowed, and so on. But so what these bodies that are in a kind of waiting position, like they're not yet activated, they're not yet alive, they're not yet ready. But so this there is still this mini movement there. So I've been working on this, and as an imaginary thing, so I don't know how it would look like for you. For me, it looks like something. So this would be the first space. I propose this. Second space, I wrote a landscape that you know extremely well, that you don't need to really move through in order to experience or to see. And with that I mean, so it was more to say, not to travel through a landscape, but for example, a landscape that influences you and your movements. I'm thinking about sitting in the fucking beach again, where you don't need to move through. But anyway, it could be any landscape that gives you impressions, but does not necessarily ask you or for your moving through it. So I think, I don't know, maybe this is clear, but, Space number 3, I said a space you know so well that you could move through it with your eyes closed. And that was to try to see if this kinesthetic muscle memory thing, if this can actually be used to influence our movement in a certain way, and to see if this produces a certain quality of a movement and quality. I don't know. I would like to try this. I would like you to try this. Maybe it's interesting. Space number 4, I wrote an enormous hall full of people ecstatically dancing around you, or a ritualistic dance around a bonfire in the middle of the desert. very nice metaphor. I don't know, but I'm interested a little bit in this question of ritual and how in our culture it's today about dancing together. Techno, it's kind of old already, but I think it's still interesting. A social space where people dance together in order to lose their mind in a certain way. That's very much 90s, but nevertheless I think it's interesting. It's an interesting phenomenon, this type of dancing, which somehow, I don't know, it reminds me sometimes of how in other cultures dance can be used as a ritual or something, or trance dance or whatever. I find this interesting. That would be the fourth space. And that's it for now. And I would like to try this also. So, the map of Aitam would be one thing to explore. These spaces that I just described would be other thing to explore. I'm also going to try to do this thing with very particular spaces, so hallways, labyrinths, mountains, staircases. I'm gonna try to see if that's something, and I will get back to you on that. I don't know if it doesn't tell you anything, you shouldn't try it, I guess. And Tira, you said also that you have another map that you want to try, so I suggest that we spend the next week on doing this and keep each other updated. I also won't have much time because I have performances. So anyway, we catch up with each other, but I think it's good to do this once in a while, a little bit more back and forward talking. Feels good. It's also strange, but of course it fucks up the communication chain a little bit. Maybe it should be okay. Maybe I should stop now, else this video gets too long. So, I think that's it for today. Do you keep answering me? I think this will be my last one because I have other things I have to do in the evening. It was a pleasure to talk to you. I hope to see you this week. Ciao. Okay, Sia, I continue now on my own because I'm no longer being texted. And Manon, of course. That was a little bit tiring. I don't know if you understood anything of what I just said. But anyway, I think I'm gonna upload it. What the fuck? We have to try. It's new. And maybe Manon thinks it's funny because she's working on these things. So anyway, let's see what you get out of this. And this will not be my last video, but nevertheless, here it comes. Fuck, where is it now? There.